Here are 20 facts that sound fake, but are actually true. In Siberia, there is a toilet located 2,591 meters, or over 8,500 feet, above sea level, hanging over the edge of a cliff at the top of the Altai Mountains. It serves the workers of an isolated weather station. There was a goat in Utah named Freckles that was implanted with spider genes as an embryo. That is now known as the spider goat. She produces spider silk proteins in her milk, which is a material stronger than Kevlar. Have you ever walked into a room and completely forgot why you went in there in the first place? Well, there is a scientific term for that, which is called an event boundary. Noah Webster, the creator of the first ever American dictionary, learned 26 languages so that he could understand and research the origins of his own country's tongue in order to write it. Saddam Hussein's son, Uday, owned an actual Iron Maiden torture device, which he used on Iraqi athletes whose performance disappointed him. It was found in his backyard in Baghdad and was clearly worn from use, its nails having lost some of their sharpness. Only 1 to 2% of the entire world's population are natural redheads. The acid in your stomach is strong enough to burn skin. A thick layer of mucus protects your stomach lining and keeps the acid on the inside where it is churned with food. This gastric acid can sometimes leak out into your esophagus, which lacks this mucus layer that leads to the burning feeling of heartburn. In the novel Forrest Gump that the movie was based upon, he goes into space with NASA, but upon returning, crash lands on an island full of cannibals and only manages to survive by beating the head cannibal every day at chess. The United States Capitol subway system in Washington is an exclusive transit system to allow for safe and expedient travel for senators and members of Congress to travel from the office buildings to their respective chambers within the Capitol for voting. According to the National Hole-in-One Registry, the odds of the average golfer making a hole-in-one are 12,500 to 1. The speed of light travels at just under 300,000 kilometers a second, or 186,000 miles per second. For some perspective, that means if you were traveling at the speed of light, you would be able to dash around Earth 7.5 times per second. This is a golden tiger. Their coat is a blend of white, cream, and pale orange fur. Its stripes are typically rust color. Some wildlife specialists refer to the golden tiger as the strawberry tiger, as the color of its fur is often what many would call strawberry blonde. They are indigenous to Southeast Asia, particularly India, but have not been known to exist in the wild since the early 20th century. There is an annual tradition called Bolos de Fuego, or Balls of Fire, held every August 31st since 1922. In El Salvador, where two groups of young people throw flaming balls of old cloth and wire that are soaked in gas at each other. This festival honors a significant volcanic eruption in 1658 that forced residents to abandon the small town, which is located north of San Salvador. Elvis Presley had a chimpanzee named Scatter, but a lesser-known fact is that the king had a great love for animals. In fact, Elvis had countless pets over the course of his life, including dogs, horses, birds, and more. Cherries contain two compounds that inhibit tumor growth and even cause cancer cells to self-destruct without damaging healthy cells. Jim Carrey's Grinch suit was covered in yak hairs that were dyed green and sewn onto a spandex suit, which made him look hairy. An adult giraffe's tongue is approximately 21 inches long. The first ever sewing needles were made of bone. Developed about 40,000 years ago by early humans, it is believed that bone needles were preferred over metal as a sewing tool because metal tended to rust and stain the fabric that it was used on. According to the Guinness World Records, the largest gingerbread man ever made was made by IKEA in Oslo, Norway on November 9th, 2009. It weighed a staggering 651 kilograms and was all baked in one piece. Jack Johnson, the first ever black heavyweight boxing champion, was once pulled over and given a $50 speeding ticket, but gave the officer $100, telling him to keep the change because he was going to make the return trip at the same speed. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. I see you guys next time.